Hey y'all, it's Governor Jeff Landry. We're back at Down in Days. We haven't been here at Phil's since the last time we interviewed Harold Mobert, one of our great veterans, a Purple Heart recipient who had an unbelievable story. And of course, our last podcast was with Robert F. Kennedy. I had an opportunity to be with him a couple of weeks ago over at the Republican Governors Association. What a great time. We love being at Phil's. Can't wait to have some oysters in a little while, but we have an unbelievable guest today that has some great information. It's one of those podcasts that gives us an opportunity to tell our citizens how much progress we're making inside of our state agencies. One of the things that I did when I was running for governor was I said I wanted people, the citizens of this state, to go to OMV and have an experience like going to Disney World, right? Which is a pretty high bar. And one of the guys that is helping us do that is our State Fire Marshal, Bryan Adams. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Governor, thank you for being here.
And don't you think, isn't that what we're trying to do? We're trying to get a Disney World experience over at OMV?
Absolutely, and it's been a mess for quite some time. As you know, the system's about 50 years old, and it was a problem when I was back in the legislature in 2012. It was probably the number one call I got in my office. And I'm telling you, we're making a difference just in the last 4 months.
Well, look, as we get into all of the great changes that y'all are making, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a 45-year career firefighter. I'm in my 45th year. It's been one thing that I wanted to do my whole life, and I've always had two jobs. So being your State Fire Marshal and your OMV director has been quite easy for me because I'm just used to doing two things. So I spent my whole career in the fire service. I was actually appointed fire chief 59 days before Katrina made landfall back in Jefferson Parish. So it was really baptism by fire, if you will. Since then, I've served as the recovery officer for every hurricane that's hit Jefferson Parish all the way up to Ida. I was the recovery director during the COVID pandemic, and I ran some of the sites there as well. So I've got quite the experience with putting out fires, if you will.
No pun intended, right?
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, we appointed you to the State Fire Marshal's position. You really took that office by storm, did a lot of government efficiency programs inside of it, restructured some things in it. And of course, some of the great work that you did in the Fire Marshal's office gave us an opportunity to maybe have you head up OMV and help us streamline that process as well.
Sure did. Right away, we found some efficiencies and some savings within the office that we turned around and did some good things at the office. We found some bad service programs that we had, cell phones, computers, things that were excess that we shouldn't have had, that we could have gotten rid of.
And this was at the Fire Marshal's office?
At the Fire Marshal's office,
that's right.
And we're about to next week, we're going to turn those things around at OMV, and we're going to do the same thing. So it's coming.
Well, and so you mentioned 50-year-old software that the citizens of this state have been utilizing to hold their driver's license information and actually to get a new driver's license or to register their vehicle. That system was built over 50 years ago?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a long time.
1973, it was built. And look, for the old timers watching the podcast, black screen with green letters. You can recognize it.
And you're still using it.
And we're still using it today. And
let's talk about the problems that program has had over, say, the last decade or so.
Yeah, shutting down, people waiting in long lines at the OMVs, shutting down during the day. You have to come back the next day, come back 2 days later because the system's still shut down. It's just been a mess.
And didn't if my memory serves me correct, I would guess earlier in this year, the system was down for almost like 30 days.
It was actually 60 days. It was down for 2 months.
60 days, yeah.
Actually 2 months.
Yeah, which of course a lot of people were not happy about.
And it was not. And it was right around the time that we had to get down to business with the real IDs. And we were down to that crunch time. Right,
which that brings us to another topic, which is Real ID and LA Wallet. So let's talk about that for just a second. We'll go back to what we're doing over at OMV, but as you said, the system was down over a 60-day period, right at the time that the federal government was implementing Real ID, so that you had to have a Real ID when you went into checked in at an airport or at a federal building. And of course, our great Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, heads up that. And while y'all were dealing with the downtime that was going on at OMV, you had this transition from folks that needed Real ID. So it really caused the problem. However, we got some great news for the citizens of the state because LA Wallet is now approved as a valid ID to get onto airports, into federal buildings, federal courthouses, all kind of federal facilities. Instead of using your physical ID, you can use LA Wallet now,
You
right?
can. So we went through a very extensive audit by a third party who worked with TSA and us, and we were able to get that approved for the next 3 years before we have to take another audit. You can use your LA Wallet app at all airports and all federal buildings across the country.
And you're going to be able to convert, even if your LA Wallet has an older driver's license, you will be able to go through a process to convert that older driver's license to a real ID on LA Wallet.
Sure. It's just a change in the app. You go in and you put your audit number in that you get off your new real ID, and it automatically converts to the new driver's license.
And how many states is TSA allowing?
So I think there were 7 other states, but we were the first one to get the 3-year approval.
We the first one. See that? We are doing. See how great you're making it? It's unbelievable. Okay, well, let's go back to the OMV process. So 60 days, it was down. Then we brought in a new director over at OTS.
That's right.
Evelina Broussard worked with you
Yes, sir.
and her team and dug into the problems. And over the course of 2, 3, 4 weeks, they stabilized the program. And how has it been running since?
So it's been great. It's been really well. We'd be remiss if we wouldn't thank Evelina and her team because they dug in with us as well. And we got it fixed. I like to say we put Gorilla Tape on it, not duct tape, because it needed Gorilla Tape. And we got that fixed. And now we've seen maybe once or twice a week, maybe we get a little shutdown for 15, 20 minutes, but it never makes it to the end user. Evelina's team is fixing it before it gets to the end user. So they don't even know that it's down.
So, but of course, that's really just a Band-Aid. We really need a new system. And while Evelina and her team were working on that patch, if you would, we were in the process of trying to procure some new software. So basically our citizens could rely on a state-of-the-art program when they went to get their driver's license or register their vehicles. And of course, that would create a much more stable position and easier transition for our citizens when they needed a driver's license, needed to renew their driver's license, needed a duplicate driver's license, right?
Yes. So we put our 2 teams together and we evaluated several vendors. And just this past week, we decided on a vendor. We issued a purchase order on Monday. And the second week of August, we're going to be boots on the ground and digging in and creating a new system.
Well, I think the important thing, quickly, maybe if you can just kind of summarize the process, because a lot of times folks back home don't have an opportunity to see the hard work that's happening behind the scenes and how much we are really trying to make sure that their tax dollars are stretched as far as we can. So you had 3 different vendors out there, and you ended up negotiating, saving the state
About $30 million with the vendor that we chose.
$30 million.
Yes, sir.
Wow. And so really we're gonna end up saving the state $30 million, plus our citizens are gonna get a new platform. And how long is that transition gonna take? How long is it gonna take to get that system up and running?
So we're going to develop a driver's license program that's very specific to us, our drivers and our citizens. That's going to be state of the art, probably the best one in the country. It's going to take us about 12 months. But once we get that across the finish line, you will see an absolute difference at each of our OMV offices and with that experience of getting a driver's license.
Wow. And then on the car registration side,
so we're going to work seamlessly, car registration on the same, while we're moving with driver's license, we're going to move with car registration. And we hope within 18 to 24 months, we have a brand new statewide system.
So but I think this is important too. So between now and the next 18 to 24 months, the driver's license, OMV is going to be operating on the 50-year-old software.
Yes.
But you'll feel like you've got a great patchwork in there and really have minimized the disruptions. So we think about, 4 or 5 months ago where we went 60 days without someone being able to renew a driver's license, which is a nightmare, by the way. I mean, especially if you got, if you're a student at a college out of state, and your driver's license expires and you don't that means you can't get on an airplane.
Yep.
And so during that period of time, people had a problem just getting a driver's license.
Yeah.
And so we went from not being able to get a driver's license for 60 days or renew one to now seamlessly allowing our citizens to be able to go in and get driver's license under the old software but eventually we'll be transitioning into a new software.
Brand new system. It'll be the greatest thing that the state's seen in 50 years, if you will. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm glad you allowed me to be a part of this process, because I like to fix things and make it better for the citizens of our state. So look, the driver's license and IDs, we touch over 3 million people in Louisiana that have a driver's license or an ID. So it's one of the experiences that ought to be the greatest thing for a Louisiana citizen.
Well, and I don't mean to, I think, I don't know if it's right, but if we go back to the LA wallet approval by TSA, if I'm not mistaken, Louisiana had about 18% or so of our citizens that had been able to get a real ID, right? And then once TSA opened up the LA wallet, approved the LA wallet, I think that we're moving from like 18% to, someone said,
we're at 41%.
40, I thought it was 4. I was going to give you 42.
We have 41%.
But I'd rather, but yeah.
And that's just since I'm there. That's just in 4 months. We went from 18 to 41%.
Yeah. Well, look, again, I think that just speaks volumes about the great work that y'all are doing there. Anything interesting on the software, or would folks, are they going to notice when we go to a new software?
Well, absolutely. We hope that most of it you can do online or do it through your LA Wallet app. We hope that it becomes very, electronic in your phones, or things that you don't have to go to the office. So we're going to try to get it there. We're going to prioritize the driver's license program and the experience that you have with the program.
So ultimately, we want to be able to give our citizens a choice and make it much easier for them to renew their driver's licenses, address issues at OMV, get a driver's license, or any of the other, register their vehicle, everything. We want to try to get them in a position where, if they want to, they will be able to do it online or on their app.
It's the one experience that touched most Louisiana citizens, so it should be the best. Right?
Exactly. So we'll be close to Disney World quality.
We might.
We might. I got a tremendous amount of faith in you and y'all ability to do that. Anything you want to report? How about at the Fire Marshal's office? How are things going there?
Everything's good at the Fire Marshal's office. We continue every day to find efficiencies and savings. Our people are hard at work. They're going to work every day. We're helping with economic development, getting plans out, making sure that we get our inspections done quickly. So it's all been great.
Well, let's, as we draw to a close on this podcast, why don't we talk real quickly about the work that y'all did to help the folks over in Texas?
Yeah, so we actually still have 32 people over in Texas who are working every day looking for victims and helping those folks to recover from that very tragic event that happened there as well. It's been a trying experience for everyone, but we were honored to be there, I'll tell you. And
we started on July 4th, of course, is when the devastating and deadly flood hit that portion of Texas and Camp Mystic, and we recently gave one of our own here in Louisiana we honored him with one of the highest medals that you can honor a citizen for her work, and she was actually at Camp Mystic and was able to take care of the girls she was a counselor. She was able to take care of the girls that were in her camp and got them to safety. But you received a call from Texas through the IMAC.
Yep.
And how many teams have we sent from July 4th to today?
So the team that's there now is the third team. We've been through about 60 to 70 firefighters from our USAW program.
Wow. Yep. And so eventually on day one, when they first asked, we sent how many teams?
We sent 12.
12 teams.
2 days later, we sent.
Tell us what a team looks like.
So a team is made up of boat operators, rescue operators, support personnel, people who take care of the paperwork and make sure that the guys are safe. So we sent a smaller team on the 5th, and then on Tuesday of the following week, we were asked to send another 30 people, which we did.
And at the beginning, these were called, what do they call them? Fast water rescue?
Yeah, so swift water rescue teams.
Swift water rescue.
Yep. So when it was still flooding, we sent swimmers, right? And then when it became a rescue, sort of a rescue mission, we sent recovery. Yep.
All right. Well, look, Bryan, I can't thank you for joining us today at Donna Days. We're here at Phil's. We're getting ready to go. How about some oysters? We're going to get some great oysters.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful.
Sounds great.
Thank you for your work you're doing at OMV. And again, to everyone out there, we want you to know that school's getting ready to start. unfortunately, for those kids who might be watching, you might be like me when I was about that age and had to go back to school. I was really wishing that someone was going to start all over again rather than having to go to school. But we want everyone to know that as we start to get back into the school system, school season, that we remember that safety is extremely important, and that as school zones start to come up, we want you to respect that and want to make sure that kids get back and forth from school safely as well. And we'll have, maybe we'll have a teacher here next. We'll have to talk about Diner Days. We'll get some teachers over here, and we'll start our, with school season, when school starts, you know what else that means? Football season's getting ready to start.
Football season.
So football's in oysters. I can't think of anything more funner than that. All right.
Teacher's a good idea. Most important person in a kid's life.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, we do appreciate everyone here at Diner Days, and we look forward to talking to y'all again soon. All right, Bryan, look at that. This young, how long you been here?
I have been here coming up on 9 years.
Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
And these are the best oysters?
These are our original garlic butter char grilled oysters. They come out of Hopedale, Louisiana. And by stopping at Mid-Barrett Diversion Project, we will always have Hopedale oysters.
I love that. Thank y'all so much.
Too.
All right. Can't wait to get in.
Y'all enjoy, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Diner Days at Phil's. We're getting ready to enjoy.